probably want to do whatever he wants you to do. Instead of keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. It's a snare, people. It's a trap to get you to go down with them. And that's not, some of them all of them not going to go down. Some of them got to stay in the kingdom with us, not necessarily with us, but in their place where they're going to be at to serve in a righteous kingdom with a rod of iron that the Mashiach Rashai going to rule them with. Got to have some. As it is written. That's why you got to abide in these commandments of the Most High. That's how you won't choose none of his ways. You got to know what's right according to this Bible. Every word of the Most High is pure. So you should think about what's right from wrong before you do it. Before you thinking wrong, you want to do something wrong, then you do it, and the Most High going to really get you. You're going to be beat with many, many, many stripes. Most of them those that don't know. The wicked. The sinners and so forth. Because he thought enough of you to call you into his marvelous truth. In learning of him and following his rules and regulations, you're going to go off from his rules and regulations? You're not curious about what's right and what's wrong? And you're just going to go out there and do wrong? And then say, oh, a just man falleth 7 times and rises up again? No. That's presumptuous sin. You know you're doing wrong. You prepare to do wrong. And you ain't got no sacrifice. Except for one. That's a Mashiach Yahushua. He told you he ain't going to the Most High on your behalf. If you don't go to the Most High on your behalf, what you think you're going to get? It says a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. The Most High is a man of war. What you think you're going to do? You're going to have strategies to get your butt in warfare. That's to anyone. That's to anyone. He thought enough to bring you to a Mashiach Yahushua. The Mashiach Yahushua has been given the ability to choose. Many are called, but few are chosen. He done called you to him, and then you're going to put him to open shame by going up there doing something that's wicked. Repent, Israel. Get that off your mind, because those things that you have in your mind will cause you to suffer beyond your imagination, because some of you think you can't be touched. You think the Most High can't touch you. And you can't say you don't, because the things you do, you know it's off. The way you think, you know it's off. Well, you're not acting properly, whether in the presence of those that you know that are Israelites or out of the presence of those that are Israelites. Your thoughts could be off. But the Most High's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. And you got angels right here on the earth. You got an angel right there. You got angels that's before the Most High on our behalf. Those that want to try and come up against us, they right there before the Most High reporting everything. And you have those that they call familiar spirits, yeah, because them angels around watching everything. They even know what you're thinking. They going back to the Most High reporting. Well, we got to be on point. These are the last days, people. When you release that vengeance and that wrath that you're going to bring on this earth, you think Israel going to be exempt from it? No. Only ones going to be exempt from it is those that are the Most High's chosen. At that time. You might be thinking you're the chosen now, but you got to, that's why I say you got to endure it until the end. Let's look at Ecclesiasticus 29 and 10. Ecclesiasticus 29 and 10. Ecclesiasticus 29 and 10. Lose thy money for thy brother and thy friend, and let it not rust under a stone to be lost, or up in the bank, or wherever you have it, to be lost. That's what he said. Lose thy money for thy brother and thy friend. and let it not rust under a stone to be lost. Say, lay up thy treasure according to the commandments of the Most High. See? Lay up your treasures, whatever you have monetarily, according to the commandments of the Most High. You've heard the commandments. It says, and it shall bring thee more profit than gold. And that's going to give you more profit than money. What's more profitable than your name being written in the book of life and you receiving everlasting life? Live forever and ever and ever. So I say more profitable than gold. Shut up alms in thy storehouses. See, shut up alms in thy storehouses. I mean, you got to have money to be able to help the people. When there's a need, you know, the church is set up to help the people. Not turn your back on them when they done gave you all the money, or someone else done gave you all the money, then now it's a need and you're supposed to be able to have something to help the people. That's what it says. Shut up alms, which is donations, in thy storehouses, and it shall deliver thee from all affliction. Hear that? But say you don't give, so you afflicted, and you wonder, why am I afflicted so much? Why am I in so much pain? Why? Because you don't give alms. Remember, alms is atonement for sins. And that's why when the Mashiach was shy, what would he tell them? Whenever he healed them, sin no more. So a lot of you can't be high-minded thinking, oh, well, I'm not a sinner. I ain't doing nothing wrong. When the Most High afflicting you. You filled with afflictions and so forth, pain and suffering. You got to give the glory to the Most High because he wounds and he heals. So listen what it says. It says, shut up alms in thy storehouses, and it shall deliver thee from all affliction. It shall fight for thee against thine enemies, better than a mighty shield and strong spear. Hear that? It will fight for you against your enemies better than weapons of war. Do you believe the Most High? Let me just make sure you understand. So all you that doubt, you call the Most High a liar. And he said what? This is what he said. Numbers 23:19. So you gotta have faith. Say the Most High is not a man. First, he ain't no woman. He's a man. So all them Bibles y'all putting out there, he's a man and a woman. That's a lie. The Most High is not a man that he should lie. He's not a man that he should lie. Neither the Son of Man that he should repent. Had he said, did he not just say it? And shall he not do it? Have he said it? Shall he not do it? Or has he spoken? And shall he not make it good? Have he spoken and shall he not make it good? Well, Mashiach told us there's a lot of problem with our people. They don't have this. If you have it, you'll see that it works. It works, people. You just got to believe. You just have to believe. If you believe, you will see that. He said, Mark 4:23. He said, if any man have ears to hear, let him hear. Y'all got ears to hear? Can y'all hear what he just said? You got ears to hear, let him hear. Everybody don't have ears to hear. Or you're such a doubtful mind. That's why, look at Mark 11:22. This is what the Mashiach Yahushua said. He said, and the Mashiach Yahushua answering said unto them, have faith in the Most High. You gotta have faith in the Most High. You gotta believe what he said. It's true. You could go to the Most High and say, Most High, you said this. Guide me in the right way to be able to fulfill what it is you said, that I will be able to reap the benefit. that you said you would give? Because we don't know. But his word is true. You sure can read his word and what he's saying. Inquire to him and he will have pity on us. As our ancestors have. Ecclesiasticus 29:13 again. It shall fight for thee against thine enemies, better than a mighty shield and strong spear. See? Alms is talking about. Donations. Giving. Verse 14. And that's all I want. Look at James, the 5th chapter. Go to James, the 5th chapter. And we're going to start at verse 1. James 5:1. See, we want the Most High to fight for us better than any weapon of war that we can present ourselves. James 5:1. Go to now, ye rich men. All you that got you large and in charge with your monies out there. It says, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. You know? That's why I went into 1 Timothy 6:17. Charge them that are rich in this world. This is what it says. Go to now, you rich men. Weep and howl for your miseries. You know? Miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. And you know he's going to burn you in this fire, man. And your money ain't going to do nothing for you. You have heaped treasure together for the last days, you know. You heap treasures together for the last days. And it's going to be given to the Israelites. Listen, let me show you something. Because it says you heap treasures for the last day. Let me show you something. Go to the book of Obadiah. At verse 17. But upon Mount Zion, Zion represents the 12 tribes of Israel, shall be deliverance. You're going to be saved. Salvation is coming to the 12 tribes of Israel. And there shall be holiness. You're going to be righteous. You're going to be holiness. You know the law is holy. There's going to be holiness. We're going to keep the laws of the Most High, the commandments of the Most High. And the house of Jacob, the family of Jacob, 12 tribes of Israel, shall possess their possessions. You know? We're going to possess your possessions, all their possessions. Oh yeah. Who's it talking about? Go to the first verse. The vision of Obadiah. Thus said the Most High power concerning Edom. See? You look up Edom, it says Edom figures prominent in the prophetic scriptures in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, or the scene of great future judgments. And they give scriptures to back it up. Isaiah 34:5, 4 and 5, and Isaiah 63rd chapter, first verse. So you read those scriptures and you read Isaiah 63:1 down, it tells you about what they know. It says she's the only neighbor of the Israelites who is not giving any promise of mercy from the Most High. So, going back to where we was at. So you're looking at everything. Look at all the monies that's been rendered from free labor, free slave labor. Well, listen what he said. James 5:3. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. So you're going to be fired. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. We've been treasured for the last days. That's why I said we're going to own all the possessions, just like we did with the Egyptians. Same as the Egyptians, same as with the Edomites. That are the superpower of the earth at this time. Said we're going to own their possessions. They're heaping up all this for the last days. Go to Matthew 19 and 21. Matthew 19 and 21. And so we got our faith in the Most High. Every word of the Most High is pure. Matthew 19, 21, it says, Mashiach said unto him, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. So you want to be perfect? Go and give to the poor. Like a lot of people say, you ain't supposed to be feeding the poor of Israel. Get out of here. Hear what he said? If you want to be perfect, this is a man that had a lot of money. Go and sell that thou hast and give to the poor. Say, go sell what you have and give to the poor. And thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possession. Rich man, see? He went away sorrowful, because he had great possession. He ain't selling nothing. Give to no poor. It's like a lot of you don't want to help the poor. Go to Luke 12 and 33. This is alms. This is giving. Help our people. Luke 12 and 20 and 33. That's why he said, hey, you helping only the ones that you know? No. What about the Israelites that you don't know? Luke 12 and 33. He said, sell that ye have, and give alms. Provide yourselves bags which wax not old, a treasure in the heavens that faileth not, where no thief approaches, neither moth corrupted. See? He gonna give us the kingdom. It's promised to the Israelites. So I say, sell that ye have and give alms. Say, give alms. Provide yourselves bags which wax not old, a treasure in the heavens that faileth not, where no thief approaches, neither moth corrupted. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. See, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also, your mind be also. See? Let your loins be girded about and your lights burning. The only way you have that light is to keep the laws of the Most High. He just said you'll be illuminated. I told you that in Baruch 4th chapter 2nd verse, that you may be illuminated by doing what? Keeping the commandments of the Most High. That's how you have your lights burning. And you yourselves like unto men that wait for their power, their master, when he will return from the wedding, that when he cometh and knocketh, they may open unto him immediately. Blessed are those servants whom the master, when he cometh, shall find watching. Verily I say unto you, that he shall gird himself and make them to sit down to meat, and will come forth and serve them. Lord Yah. And if he shall come in the second watch, or come in the third watch, and find them so, blessed are those servants. You watching and knowing what to look for, and keeping the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High, having faith in the Mashiach who's coming. And just know that if the good man in the house had known what hour the thief would come, and he coming like a thief in the night. So he said, if you done knew when this thief gonna come to try and rob you, he would have watched. You've been looking out, and not have suffered his house to be broken through. Be ye therefore ready also. So you gotta be ready. For the Son of Man cometh at an hour when ye think not. You come when you're not even thinking. A lot of you ain't thinking about it coming anyway. You all into your own worlds. Reading this word enough to know what it is takes, because you have no questions about what it's going to take. How you coming out of, he tell you coming out of thief in the night. That's why he say watch. You gotta be watching. You gotta know. You pay attention to your surroundings and what's going on. Otherwise, you're gonna be caught. Look. 2 Peter 3 and 10. 2 Peter 3 and 10. The day of Hamashiach, coming in the glory of the Most High, will come as a thief in the night. That's why he said that. He gave the examples when he was on the earth in the flesh. For admonition. He said he's going to come like a thief in the night. In the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. And the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. That's why he said the rich going to meet that fire when he come and burn them up. You know what he said? The earth also and the works that are therein. All your riches, everything you have, going to be burned up, shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, he going to melt everything. What manner of persons ought you to be in all holy conversation and righteousness? See, looking for and hasting until the coming of the day for the Most High Mashiach Yahushua, wherein the heavens being on fire, the earth is the heaven, and the sky is going to be on fire. As far as the fire that's coming from the earth up, and the galactical battle that's going to be in the sky, shall be dissolved. You hear that? Heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, every word of the Most High is pure. Look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. See, then you know this earth is wicked, wickeder than ever before. But we'll have an earth that's going to dwell in righteousness when Mashiach shall come to set it up. Ecclesiasticus 31. Ecclesiasticus 31. And we're going to look at the first verse to the 6th verse. It says, watching for riches consumeth the flesh, and the care thereof driveth away sleep. You see? Watching it, looking all the time, looking for riches, consumeth the flesh. Consume you. Because all you want to do is just look for money, money, money. How can I get more money? I can get more money. And the care thereof driveth away sleep. You can't even sleep at night thinking about money. Watching care will not let a man slumber. As a sore disease breaketh sleep. You in pain with this disease, it breaketh your sleep. Same way it's saying, watching care, looking all the time for money, will not let a man slumber. He's going to let you sleep. So the rich have great labor in gathering riches together. See, they have great labor in gathering riches together. And when he resteth, he is filled with his delicacy. The poor laboreth in his poor estate. And when he leaveth off, he is still needy. See, the poor laboring in his poor estate, when he leave off, he's still going to be needing things. He that loveth gold shall not be justified, and he that followeth corruption shall have enough thereof. So you love gold, you seeking after it, you ain't going to never be satisfied. You better satisfy them. You ain't going to be justified either in what you're doing, because of the wickedness that you have to encounter, and the wicked people that you got to deal with, that you fall right in line with just to get that money. He that loveth gold shall not be justified, and he that followeth corruption shall have enough thereof. You following corruption and getting this money, you have enough thereof. He gonna deal with you on it. See, gold have been the ruin of many. Hear that? Money been the ruin of many, and their destruction was present. You seen them go down. Bam! They offer you all this money. In the end, they end up broke, poor, and they put their little posters up showing them at their lowest estate. Like our people had all this money, and what they take to the grave with them? A whole lot of stars that fell from heaven. Of the 70s, a Rolling Lodge, and now look at where they at now. You name them, all these different artists, recording artists, just falling. That's what say, stars gonna fall from heaven. We the stars, Israelites. And the heaven is talking about on this earth. Where they at? They gone. You're offering contracts and so forth. They gave their whole life up to. They seen a little bit of prosperity in this world. Where they at? They gone. Finished. Done. 1 Timothy 6 and 10. 1 Timothy 6 and 10. So you got to know too, and how you are supposed to conduct yourself in this world. It says, for the love of money is the root of all evil. See, the love of money is, remember like I said, they chasing money, they can't even sleep. The love of money is the root of all evil. And they got to deal with corruptors, the sinners, better deal with getting all this money. For the love of money is the root of all evil. See, people, they not following the Most High. They tell them they think God is Buddha. You know, the Zen master and so forth. Dealing with Zen and all, you know, they dealing with, you name it, Israel all involved in it. All these different religions. Going all the way back to the Tower of Babel. Nimrod and Semiramis and his son Tammuz. That's all you doing is worshiping them. No matter how you look at it. Somehow they symbols that they've had for years before you even thought about it. Like the cross, you know, going all the way back to the Catholic Church. I mean, that's universal, all over. No matter if you say you are not affiliated with them, it started with you. Catholic Church, all of them started with them. Even if you say you're not affiliated with them now, you still paying tribute to your beginning father. That's what y'all call him, father. Macho Shai said, don't call nobody no father. Most High is our father. That's why we say our father. Matthew 6 and 9 say, after this matter pray ye, our father. Pray our Father. The Most High is our Father. See, but he's saying, don't call him a father because he knew that Roman Catholics going to come down the pike and bring forth what they're bringing forth until this day. Representing the Most High on this earth. And they dealing with all kind of wickedness. Nah. True men of the Most High, we out there on the corners and in your face teaching this truth. But our people can't see it because they're blind, they're in darkness. This is what the Most High said, for the love of money is the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. Which while some coveted after, they're always going after money, 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 they have erred from the faith. They ain't dealing with the Most High. If you err from the faith, you gotta have faith in who? Who is to have faith in who? The Most High. They done erred from following the Most High. But some of you say, here, when I want to thank God, who are they talking about? They ain't talking about the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Because they would know who they are and acknowledge the fact of all the wrongdoing that the oppressor and all the ones 2/3 of our people are doing. Come out of that. They wouldn't be sucked into the limelight of receiving their monies at this time, and then this is the only consolation they're going to have, and then be cast into hell. Pain and torment. Ain't nobody came back and told them. All these so-called celebrities that done died, they came back and told you. No, but we here to tell you and warn you. They have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. You hear that? You pierce yourself through with many sorrows. They didn't say happiness, it said many sorrows. Understand this, people. It's real. But our people want to find another way. Verse 9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare and a trap. They that will be rich fall into temptation. Who the tempter? The devil. Satan. They that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, a trap, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts. Hear that? Many foolish and hurtful lusts. Look at all the things that you got to do with to be successful. To have money, the monies that you have. You know that you're doing wicked things. Hurtful, foolish and hurtful lust. Because you can learn the way of the oppressor. He said, learn not the way. Don't learn none of his ways, it says. Learn not the way of the heathen. Because you can fall into foolish and hurtful lust, which drown men in destruction and perdition. Make you the child of hell like he is. That's what he wants. He wants to take as many as he wants. Many as he can. With him. Let's jump up to 1, verse 1. Let as many servants as are under the yoke count their own masters worthy of all honor. And that just means the ones that's your teachers. They ain't talking about no slave masters. They try and use it. That the name of the Most High and his doctrine be not blasphemed. Because you know the Most High could care less about Esau. He said in Romans 9:13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So what shall we say then? What you got to say now? Is it unrighteousness with the Most High? The Most High forbid. See, so it's talking about those that are the teachers. Because you're being taught, so therefore you're being directed and instructed. It says, and they that have believing masters, let them not despise them. So they ain't talking about believing masters, talking about in slavery. But the Most High never dealt with them. He just told you. The Most High hate them. So how is it that it's talking about them? Get that out of your mind, because a lot of people try to say they inputted these words so that we would, follow what it's saying pertaining to them. No. We as Israelites know better. Because the Most High told us in Psalms 147, 19 and 20, he showed his word unto Jacob, his laws, statutes, and commandments to Israel. He has not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgment, they have not known them. Praise ye the Most High. And we read it in Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 7. I say, as for the way of the Most High, the Mashak, we have not known it. Understand this. So no matter how much brothers and sisters out there teaching the heathen, in the end they're going to say in Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 7, as for the way of the Most High and the Mashak, we have not known it. They have not known it. They don't know the Most High or Mashak. That's what it says. Verse 2. So it ain't talking about them. It's talking about the Israelites, teachers, those that are over congregations, those that you're listening to, those that you are learning from. It says, and they that have believing masters, let them not despise them, because they are brethren. Come on. They are brethren. Come on, let's cancel that out immediately. Brethren, the Israelites. But rather do them service. Say, but rather do them service, because they are faithful and beloved. Who the Most High say love? Romans 9:13. Again, as it is written, Jacob have I loved. Hey. It says, because they are brethren, that means they have to be an Israelite, but rather do them service, because they are faithful and beloved, partakers of the benefit. These things teach and exhort. If any man teach otherwise, don't go down to that. if any man teach otherwise, and consent not to wholesome words, even the words of our power of Mashiach Yahushua, who comes in the volume of the book, the word of the Most High, and to the doctrine which is according to righteousness, he is proud, knowing nothing. They can tell you that you ain't under the law. So these preachers are proud, knowing nothing, but doting about questions and strifes of words, whereof cometh envy, strife, railings, evil surmising, perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds, and destitute of the truth, destitute of the laws, such commandments of the Most High, and of Mashiach Yahushua, supposing that gain is righteousness. See? Look how much I got. A lot of people, and you've been programmed that way. You think because you got a lot, that means you're righteous. No. There's a whole lot of opportunities of riches that many of us have given up, that are leaders at this time, especially in the music industry. Believe this. Here we are now, sacrificing our life for the people, giving all glory to the Most High and Mashiach Yahushua, supposing that gain is righteousness. People think because you have received riches, you receive a lot of money, that's righteousness. No. From such withdraw thyself. Say, get rid of, don't be around these type of people. From such you have a right to avoid them. But righteousness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into this world. Hear that? Listen closely. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we could carry nothing out. How much they carrying out with them when they die? No matter how much money they have accumulated on this earth, nothing. And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. You hear that? You having food or something, some clothes to put on your back, be content. He said. So a lot of people can't do that. They gotta look at everybody else and covet what you see everybody else have. And like I said, they dealing with sorrows that you can't even see. Because you ain't been up in that world to know that world, to know what that world is about. But I ask somebody. That's why he's giving us guidelines, people. You go by. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus 31st chapter. And let's look at verse 7. Let's read verse 6. Say, gold, which is money, have been the ruin of many, and their destruction was present. You've seen them destroyed. It's verse 7. It is a stumbling block unto them that sacrifice to it, and every fool shall be taken therewith. Call you a fool if you just seeking after gold and money and so forth. You're not doing what you're supposed to do, as the Most High telling us what we're supposed to do, and contributing and communicating. It is a stumbling block unto them. Verse 7, that's sacrificing to it. You hear that? So they say, I want to thank God. They're sacrificing to money. That's what it's saying. Not to the Most High. Mashiach Yahushua ain't going to the Most High on their behalf. Because all they think about is their gold, their money. It is a stumbling block unto them that sacrificing to it. And every fool shall be taken therewith. You're a fool if you just going to be taken with what they offer you in money. You got to have all this money, and what you got to do to get it. What you got to do it. What they want you to do. All kind of heinous and unexplainable abominations. That's why most of us say some things that they're doing as well we ain't supposed to talk about. Look at all the producers and record company owners that's being brought up on charges of sexual charges against a lot of it. Matter of fact, they just gave this one cat, 40 to 175 years? He was a doctor over the Olympic girls and so forth. 158, I believe, brought an accusation against him. I don't even know if they had a trial. They just gave him 40 to 175 years. He already had 60 years by the Fed, I think, for having porn. Young girls and so forth. So once he finished the 60, then the 40 to 175 gonna kick in. Judge said, "It's your death penalty." Straight up. Wicked. So that's why I say, what you got to do to get this money? They always think everybody have a price. A lot of times the price ain't money. It's about how you sell your soul. That's why my church say, what would a man do for the profit to paraphrase in selling his soul? Verse 8. Blessed is the rich that is found without blemish, and have not gone after gold. You know? You rich, but you ain't seek. You ain't going after gold. Your mind ain't just about getting rich and staying rich and getting more money, because that becomes your God. That becomes your power. And the Most High ain't your power. That's why it says clear here. Blessed is the rich that is found without blemish, found without sin, keeping the laws of the Most High, doing what you're supposed to do with money and giving alms and tithes and offerings and so forth, helping the poor, all the things that we've been over, going over, doing what you're supposed to do, so you can see a great future. And have not gone after gold. Yeah. You rich, but your whole objective of life is not seeking money. That's your God. That's your power. That's their power. It ain't the Most High. It ain't our power. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's what it says. Blessed is the rich that is found without blemish, and have not gone after gold. You ain't just seeking after money. You have enough. Like I said, a lot of people have enough for a few lifetimes. Some don't even have no children to give them to inherit it down to. It's still not satisfied. Still seeking more money. That's what he's talking about. Why I say it's harder for a rich man into the kingdom of heaven than the camel to go through an eye of a needle, which is a little archway in Israel that a camel not going to get down and try and go through. You figure that hump gonna get caught within that little archway. It's hard for a rich man or a rich woman to reach the kingdom of heaven. Look at verse 11. His goods shall be established, and the congregation shall declare his alms. Let me start at verse 9. Who is he? And we will call him blessed. For wonderful things have he done among his people. See? The rich man. Who is he? And we shall call him blessed. For wonderful things have he done among his people, who are the Israelites. Not some other people. Wonderful things have he done among his people, who have been tried thereby and found perfect. Then let him glory, who might offend and have not offended, or done evil and have not done it. His good shall be established, and the congregation shall declare his alms. See? Because he's given a lot. The congregation going to know that he's been given of himself. Your alms Could be money, could be even your time and effort that you bring forth. You got to give to receive. You have to follow a protocol of what the Most High is saying is going to work. And that's what we're hearing here. Ecclesiastes 35 and verse 9 to 11. Ecclesiastes 35 and verse 9 to 11. In all thy gifts show a cheerful countenance, and dedicate thy tithes with gladness. See? When you give, show a joyful countenance. Be glad. Be happy to give. Hear what it says? In all thy gifts show a cheerful countenance, and dedicate thy tithes with gladness. So you gotta be happy to give. And you're gonna receive. He said, sevenfold more. Verse 10, give unto the Most High according as he hath enriched thee. So what can we give the Most High? We can't really give him anything. He has everything. Everything is his. But he's saying, give to the Most High according as he hath enriched thee. As he's enriched you, then you're supposed to give to those that are serving the Most High for the work of the Most High. Give unto the Most High according as he hath enriched thee. And as thou hast gotten, give with a cheerful eye. As you have gotten, give with a cheerful eye. Be glad to give. Be happy to give. Don't be stingy and hold back. Remember Ananias and Sapphira? So when the people have a need, then they're supposed to come to the leaders of the congregation to be able to help them out. And not be brought down so heavily and talked about because they lack and don't have much. That's what the church is supposed to be about. Remember they laid the monies at the apostles' feet. Distribution was given as there was a need for the people. If we don't get this concept in these last days, we're going to perish. Or you're going to perish. Those that have it is not going to perish because the Most High is going to look after them. One way or another, but you got to give your life to this. You got to look at what it is that's being said and follow it. Listen, verse 11, for the Most High recompenses and will give thee 7 times as much. There it is, right there. I just said it. There it is. The Most High going to reward you and give you 7 times as much. Man, believe this, people. Understand this. This is real as real can be. It says, for the Most High recompenses, he gonna reward you. And will give thee 7 times as much. Do you believe that? We don't have to go back to Numbers 23:19 again, right? The Most High is not a man he should lie. Have he said it, shall he not do it? You got to have faith to believe it. It works. It works, people. Just a moment.